What is up, YouTubers, reviewers, and viewers? This is Cam the Lego Man back with a brand new video for today. Today, I would like to share my thoughts on why I believe Bionicle deserves a comeback. Again. For the older adults out there who are still kids at heart, do you remember back in the early 2000s chilling with your friends and cracking open a cold one? Not one of those. One of these. One of these cold ones, quite literally, Kopaka. Going to a retailer as a kid was always so fun to me, especially Toys R Us, because I have such fond memories of walking in there with my family and running strictly to the Lego aisle. Once I was there, I perused the Lego themes of Star Wars, Batman, Harry Potter, and whatever else I could find to just create a collection of random assortment of Legos. But my last stop before we left the Lego aisles was always Bionicle. I don't know if I was saving them for last because I thought they were best, or if that was just a weird tradition of mine every time I went. But you know, getting these canisters always put some warmth in my heart. It was completely different than any other Lego packaging, or packaging in general, that I had seen. And getting these guys into canisters, I mean, dude, I mean, the vibes were immaculate. 2001 is when Bionicle was finally released to the United States, and it started with Gen 1 with all the original Toa and the rise of the Bow-Rock. And at the time of its inception, a massive fan base started, and has loved it ever since. Through its ups and downs, I'm a part of that community, and so are some of my friends. And growing up, some of my favorite Toa of all time had to be the Toa Nuva. I just loved collecting them and getting them, and I think my love for them kind of came from the Mask of Light movie. I watched The Mask of Light over and over and over and over and over and over, and yeah, basically I love the movie. I watched that one more than the other two that they had put out. I know the Nuva line doesn't get really that much love, and it kind of breaks my heart because I consider them some of the best. I thought they were a worthy upgrade. A lot of people disagree, and I don't really get the argument. You can bash me in the comments, I don't care. I think my actual favorite line that ever came out had to be by the time we got to Ignika. So that was when the Paraka arrived, and I don't know why. I just love the Paraka with all my heart. I think they were my favorite villains besides the Rakshi. I love them so much. Hold on. You see Zach 10? He's like my child. I don't know what I would do without him. But in all seriousness, why did I love Bionicle, and why did so many people? I'm not going to make this some video essay explanation that I'm just scripting up. This is all just coming from the heart. I think it had to do with vibes. It was the early 2000s vibes. Everything was a little bit darker back then, and I think kids could honestly take darker themes, and I loved it. I know Bionicle was lighthearted, but you also dealt with evil. And some of the creations that Lego made were actually kind of terrifying as a kid, like Gadunka. You can take that however which way you want to. He's scary in both ways. But there was just something about it. The colors, the themes, the music, the commercials. Everything about Bionicle back then was peak to me. I literally could not wait every year until new canisters come out, new big box guys came out, like Brutaka. Brutaka is probably my favorite big one they've ever made. And even down the line, we even got large vehicles for the guys, and I remember my friend had one, and I was always so jealous because that thing was so cool, man. I don't even remember the set name, but I can see it in my head, him swooshing around in my face. Anyway, it was still an amazing set, and everything they did back then was S tier. And honestly, I can't believe Lego lost that momentum. But sadly, like all good things, it had to come to an end. I will never forget going in Toys R Us. I believe I was either 9 or 10 when the All-Stars line was coming out, and I just remember looking at them and being severely disappointed. I was kind of disappointed in the whole last two waves. I just wasn't vibing with them as much. Just something wasn't giving me what I needed, and I couldn't figure it out, and I still can't figure it out. I know people still love the last two waves. I'm not personally the biggest fan of them, but I respect your opinion, and part of me loves them due to nostalgia. But after Bionicle left shelves, I felt empty, and honestly, so did a lot of other people. It really hurt walking into any retailer and not seeing the canister sitting there, or the big boxes. Something just wasn't right. Then they got replaced by Hero Factory. I know Hero Factory has a fan base. I am not part of that fan base. I really do not like Hero Factory at all. I think in the entire runtime that they had came out, I only got 4 sets, and I only got 3 of the heroes because they didn't really resemble Hero Factory. They kind of resembled I think honestly the reason I got them is because they kind of look like a Power Ranger, kind of. I don't really know how to explain that. I'll probably throw some on screen of the ones that I did get. And then I got, I think, a villain or two, like the big guys. They cooked. They definitely cooked on the designs. But Hero Factory just wasn't for me. To me, it was a little too lighthearted, too kid-friendly. I just wasn't vibing with it. I think, honestly, this whole video has something to do with the vibes. There's just something, the vibes are not there. Fast forward to 2015, and Hero Factory is gone. Yes, Bionicle is in. Mega yes. But it failed. Why? Apparently, to LEGO, it failed due to terrible marketing. It relied heavily on the shoulders of nostalgia in its fan base to do the marketing, low sales, and a simplified storyline. Deep down in my heart, I think the reason Gen 2 failed is because it failed to recapture what the Gen 1 actually had. And I'm not going to rely on nostalgia for that. I just genuinely think that the designs that they created for the heroes in the Toa, the masks weren't bad. I actually really liked the masks, but the designs of their bodies and all the other things that they created just felt too Hero Factory. I don't really know how to explain that further. I personally didn't like the designs, and I'm assuming a lot of other people didn't, considering the low sales. I think another thing that really hurt was the packaging. They weren't putting them in canisters, I'm assuming for environmental reasons, that or they're just too cheap, like they kind of are today, but it just didn't hit the same. Gen 2 of Bionicle died a year after its inception, which should say something. And honestly, I just don't think LEGO put that much care and effort into trying to recreate them, because I don't think they really planned on keeping them around. I know they probably say they did, but I think LEGO wanted to move past Bionicle. I think that time had gone for them, but it's not time for me to let go, and neither are you. You're watching this video because you're still on the ropes too. With a lot of the communities, I just think Bionicle is being kept alive by us. I think my favorite thing to do now that Bionicle is not around, are the mocks. I think the coolest thing I've actually seen in recent time is a guy on Etsy called Burry's Forge. I'm going to plug him in the description and everything. He's creating these 3D printed masks that are brand new, but they look what LEGO could have made for them, to be honest with you. They look really good, and I'm honestly considering buying some soon. I ordered some Bionicle parts the other day. I'm not going to lie. I was going on a huge nostalgia trip, and I saw some on eBay. I was like, why not? Back to the mocks. I'm going to throw a few on screen that I just think does Bionicle justice without falling too much into the Hero Factory looking style that they did, that I really do not like. I don't really know why they did that. I'm sure it was to save costs because the pieces have already been made and they really didn't want to go back to the old Bionicle. But there was something about the old Bionicle pieces that just made sense and made it feel like Bionicle. It felt like a world that you could step into, and the other was just kind of there. Long story short, LEGO, please, I'm begging you, bring them back. The fan base is still here, but you got to do it right this time. If you can, please bring back the canisters. They were really cool. But that aside, you got to do what you did with the first one. I think Gen 2 was also just really lacking in the personality department. Perfect example, the Paraka. They were the villains. They didn't really say much, but they all had their own good personality that was worthy of being a villain.
Paraka. Gang is on the loose on Bionicle.com.
Same thing with the Makuta. Look at Pterodax, worthy of being a villain. And then look at the heroes. Look at all of the original Toa. Look at Joller's story arc into becoming Takanuva. That's what we needed. If they just put a lot of money into Bionicle again and actually tried, business would be booming. I just know it would. There is a fan base there just screaming and scratching at the walls trying to get in to just tell someone to please give them their fix. That is me. Again, this wasn't supposed to be some video essay. This is just me speaking from the heart on why I believe the Bionicle failed, and I just believe it should come back the right way this time. LEGO really dropped the ball on Gen 2, but Gen 3 could be something big. And you know, LEGO sees you, but I don't think they hear you. They want to scratch your itch just enough where it feels okay. Perfect example. Look at the gift with purchase that came out about a year or two ago. That was beautiful. That was based off the movie. Look at the Indiana Jones stickers. They keep putting Easter eggs in things. They know you see it. Regardless, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm really curious to see if you agree with me, because I agree with myself. I always do. I am me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video in my short little, I guess, rant, I suppose, on why Bionicle should come back and why Gen 2 failed. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.